Right, good morning. I will just I want to record this quick video just to kind of teach teach you how I look at the wave strategy again. Another example um, of the wave strategy and how I will use it. And so, if you remember, what we're looking for is for price to go. So price rises above the main rule or the rules around the 5 TT wave strategy is the wave, which is this one here. So the green, orange, and green um, is the actual wave, which is the EMA 34. And then you have the EMA 89. Once the EMA 89 goes below the EMA 34, then we're looking for buy opportunities. And when do we take on the buy opportunities? So you can see that price had to move above for this crossover to happen. But we don't take a trade yet until price goes up and then comes back into the wave. So I use the 13 and the 21 as sharper entry points. So once price comes back to the top of this wave, so it will be a combination of these three here, somewhere around that. I then start to look for entries. Now, what is my trigger? I use the two candle system to enter into this into the trade. And so we had the trade trigger here. Yeah, and why did it trigger? Now, what I'm looking for is a clear two candle strategy. So let's blow this up a bit. So what I want is to have one candle close below the low of the other one, um, and the high as well, higher than the high of the current one, lower than the high of the prior one. And we had that happen. Not quite there because that didn't happen within the wave. I want to close within the wave, the 34 EMA, for my first entry, by the way, for my first entry. This needs to happen. So we had that candle formation there, which is right, but it did not close within the wave, and we didn't have it happen anywhere else until here. So this candle closed below the low of this candle within the wave, and this high is lower than the high, and this low is lower than the low, obviously. And so when that happens, I place a buy stop order up here. And so what happened? The next candle opened and went bullish, so went up, filled me in on that trade. And by the way, once I get into that trade, my initial stop loss is below the low of the 89 EMA here. So my risk at that time would have been 97, 98 pips. And so got into the trade, and then price did what price first of all came down this way and then started to go up. Never got to hit my stop loss, so it threatened my stop loss, but then took off and started to go up. And once price then is above my entry, I will start to trail my stop loss. So around this area here, well, let's say for example here where this candle just closed here, my stop loss then or my risk then has just dropped to let's see, the risk has dropped to 86 pips. So from 90, just over 90 pips to 86 pips. And then the stop loss is trailing. And these are the sort of things that we like to see. So sometimes you don't get this sort of move every time, but you need to be here in the market to get this sort of move happen. And so when this took off yesterday in the market, the GBP pairs just took off yesterday. We were already in the market. And so at this juncture here, my risk could have just been about 50 pips, and then price just boom went up and just rallied all the way up to this point. And within our group, I talked about if you're kind of advanced, you can also take a short trade down back into the wave because price moves in waves. And so when this showed us this reversal pattern here, it was an easy sell, so 43 pip risk, and you can see easily 2 to 1 reward to risk there back into the wave. And so but all this while just price just keep the stop loss just kept trailing. So at this juncture here, this the risk on this trade was just less than 5 pips. But we just kept trailing the stop loss. But then the other thing that happens is once I then get a setup, so for my second trade, I don't need to wait for this two candle system to happen within the wave. I still need the two candle system to happen, but I don't need it to happen within the 34 EMA. I need it to happen within the top part of the wave, which is a combination of this one here, this the high of the band, the 21 EMA and the 13 EMA. And you can see this candle here closed below that candle. The high is lower than that high. And so I got me an entry there, but that never got filled in. And so this other candle also then closed below. So closed below, um, and gave us another pending order there that never got filled in. And then we just canceled the trade, cancelled. But then price went back up. Remember, my first trade is still on, and at this point right here, the 89 EMA is now higher than my entry price. See the entry price here. So this first trade now is 100% risk free. Nothing will make that trade fail. So it's 100% risk free now. And then the second trade I got here. So I got here an opportunity then to get in. So we put a pending order for the second trade. Once we got a fulfillment, price then got me filled in on that trade. Where so I was the trade. And I believe as well that one didn't get cancelled actually. It got filled in here. So I have three trades on now. Two are currently, one is currently negative, that one there, 32 pips down. The other one is 3 pips in profit, and this third one is, or the first trade actually, is 136 pips in profit. But then the stop loss is above, so this will never be a losing trade. And as this 89 EMA keeps rising, the stop loss will keep rising. And so all we just need to do is to just follow this trade as price continues to push up. It's possible for price to come down and take us out. So what? But right now we are on a bullish move, following this rally here, a pullback, and then we're expecting price to start moving to the upside. So that's GBP and ZD. We had something similar happen with GBP CHF as well. So again, we were on this trade here up here. This was nicely done. Trade entered there, you can see there. So this pulled back in here. We had a pending order, which this candle then filled us in on that trade. And this was about 150 pips yesterday. We moved the stop loss. The stop loss took us out around there. So about 72 pips. But then we started to have multiple entries, pending orders. None of them got filled in, just got cancelled. And we then got filled in on here on this particular one, which is started off as a 50 pip risk, but right now it is at 42 pips, and we got another opportunity, and the second trade is on now. So yeah, so we will see where that takes us as well, as it were. So mostly all the GBP pairs, this happened with them. I'll just take a look at one more, and that is it for today. So again, GBP USD, something similar. So this was the entry on that one. Two candle system. This was actually the second entry. The first entry had closed, but the second entry was already open when the first one closed. And so that was our entry. Stop loss started off at 71 pips. Right now, the stop loss is at 60 pips. So the risk has reduced. The trade is in profit. Half of the trade has closed there. So once we got to around this point here, half of the trade closed, and then we'll just hold the other half as price then continues to go up. Once we get another opportunity as well, we will take another entry in the market. So nicely done. And then we'll let you know how this pans out. Okay, any questions, you know how to get us. at admin@5talentstrader.com. All right, you take care, stay disciplined, and just let's make some money. All right, cheers.